Winning shot, what's good? It is another Monday. We are back with some live action coming tonight. Monday night football. Exciting weekend. We had a lot of college football, NFL football, W's in the chat. We got a Colts win and a Broncos win. All we'll be talking about today. Hundo, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. That was a crazy game. Talking about the Broncos yesterday, probably one of the most exciting games I done seen recently in a long time. Um, but like you said, had some good college football matchups as well. Um, we gonna see what happened the rest of the season.
For sure, bro. I think like there's been a lot of surprises in the NFL, especially like when we talk about the Colts. But I know John's not here, so we won't talk too much about the Ravens. We're gonna save that. But I guess from what's this, week 6, week 7? Like, how are you feeling about the state of the Broncos and anything in the NFL that's been surprising you so far?
Um, so I'll start with the Broncos. No, first let's go back to the Steelers because the Steelers blew. They lost to the Bengals. One that shouldn't have happened.
That's true.
First of
That's true.
all, divisional matchup. They had a pretty comfortable lead in the division. Had they won that game, they would have really been looking good in that division. So that was a tough loss for them. Um, Hopefully they can get back on track and especially while the Ravens are banged up, this is a perfect time to try to, win that division. There was a lot of conversation about Mike Tomlin after last season. It's looking like he's gonna have another winning season this year if everything, keeps falling into place. But can they win the division? Can they make the playoffs and get a playoff win? We're gonna see. But that was a pretty disappointing loss to veteran Joe Flacco. They had him looking like Hall of Fame Joe Flacco, prime Joe Flacco out there. Um, so we're gonna see if the Steelers can get back on track. That was a bit of a surprise. As I say, it's a division matchup, so that's always tough, especially in that division. But we're gonna see. So that was a surprise for me Thursday night.
Yeah. Um, I I definitely watched part of the game, but it's just crazy how like, Joe Flacco, he still kind of has it, in terms of that division, like him being like I think 41. He
Yeah.
gave the Bengals life, and like you said, the Steelers still gonna, do well, but those are the games you have to have, especially when you talk about getting the top seeding in the AFC. Um, and I would say like for me, like obviously we can talk about the Colts later on, but you know, I think Puka was out versus the Jaguars, and then they
Mhm.
go overseas and stink up the joint like that. Like that definitely was a surprise because I thought, Puka being out, the Rams were kind of come back to normal. But even like with that division as a whole has been my surprise because I knew it was going to be competitive. But when you talk about like the Seahawks play tonight, but San Francisco are literally depleted. And last night they get a win versus the Falcons. The Cardinals they've been losing games, but they've been at least competing. And I think when we talk about the toughest divisions of football, like we talk about the AFC West, and I think a lot of people were coming into the season thought it was going to be the AFC North. But really, the NFC West definitely should have a word on that because all four of the teams are at least competing. So that's been a surprise for me.
And Stafford was darting them boys up, man. He looked pretty strong without Puka versus the Jaguars. So they looking kind of tough. Now I will say another team that's looking pretty tough right now, and we just talked about that division, but the Chiefs. The
Yeah,
Chiefs. The Chiefs have been looking better these past few weeks. We
absolutely.
gon' hopefully we catch them at a good time and we able to get past them because we owe them an L from last year for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
But the Chiefs have been looking better the past few weeks.
yeah, for sure. So I guess like let's segue into the AFC West. So when we talk about let's get the Colts game out of the way because I got some words to say about the Giants and Broncos. But so Daniel Jones, man, like I did not say it with such enthusiasm at the beginning of the season, but I knew with this roster we could at least make the playoffs. Now I'm about to enter some dangerous territory in terms of my predictions. Like you know how I am with, with my predictions, and I'm scared to say what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna let it ride a couple more weeks. But Daniel Jones definitely needs some MVP votes. Like he's not my MVP right now, but he has definitely been cooking. And Jonathan Taylor. But the game that Shane Steichen called, like I think Davion or somebody put it in the group, like Hurts, Herbert have all had Shane Steichen, and Shane Steichen as an offensive play caller, he is definitely up there with the McVays and some of the top offensive play callers. Now, coach wise, I think he's coming to terms with like building a well-roundedness when it comes to coaching. But offensively, we're definitely like I think it's either us or the Chiefs are leading in offensive efficiency, and I think Daniel Jones is really a byproduct of Shane Steichen's system. So as much as I want to give praise to Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor, I have to give the utmost praise right now to the guy and then Shane Steichen.
So since you think it's the system, right?
Yeah.
Can your boy AR come in and do what Daniel
No,
Jones is doing?
no, no,
You just said it's a
no.
system, bro.
And that shows you how bad AR was. And that's okay. Like last year, I was telling John on the pod, I was like, there were some basic layups that he was missing. Like he had like 74% on checkdowns. And I'm like, at some point, you have to be able to make the easy stuff so that you can grow into the complex stuff. And I think that's
Mhm.
why Daniel Jones is thriving. We've never questioned Daniel Jones on the easy stuff. It's when,
Yeah.
Saquon went down and he had to put the team on his back. He was not that kind of
Mhm.
quarterback. And so hopefully we can
Yeah.
stay healthy through the season. But he is a system quarterback. I think AR's skill set is more impromptu, scrambling, running around, doing his own thing. But in the NFL, you don't really need that. I just need you to make the plays and make the plays on time.
Yeah. No, that's real. I think as we talked about before, but I know you was big on Loveland during the draft, but Tyler Warren, big big draft pick, going to get a
Yeah.
security blanket at tight end. He's been big all season.
Yeah. The truth is, bro, I didn't know Warren was going to be there. I thought he was for sure going to be a Bear. But I think, like, beyond just the X's and O's, he's just a football guy. He's kind of like
Mhm.
a scatterboo on steroids at tight end. Like, he's making the right play at the right time. And I think that kind of skill set is what keeps you in the league for 20 years. So
Yeah.
he's been good, man. He can block. He can, eat up a zone, and I think he's a good safety net for a player like Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all got that win yesterday, man. Help the Broncos out a good bit in that division. So as much as I want to see y'all lose, and we lost we lost to both of these teams now. Sadly, we went out sad, you know? Game winning field goals, both. As much as I want to see y'all lose, I want to see the Chargers lose more.
Absolutely. Well, we hand out L's in the AFC West. The Chiefs is coming soon, November 23rd, I believe. Um, but okay, so we kind of transition to the AFC West because obviously with the Chargers losing and the Chiefs winning, y'all are still at the top of the AFC West, right? They're at
Yep.
5-2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's talk about the disappointment that was the New York Giants yesterday. Because nothing really warmed my heart more than winning a bet on a parlay and seeing the Broncos lose. And both really were ruined in the span of like 2 minutes. Because it was like the biggest roller coaster. I saw the Giants get up, the Broncos come back. Jackson Dart lead them down the field, and then when as soon as that kicker missed the kick, I said, "I know it's about to happen. I know it's." So tell me about the game. How'd you feel as a Broncos fan?
So, as everybody should know by now, Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. So, we were down 19-0 going into the fourth quarter. It was not looking good. The offense wasn't doing nothing. We were punting every drive. We were punting, literally. First drive, we come out 3 passes. Can we please try to run the ball, please? Why are we putting the ball in Bo Nick's hands, knowing we don't have no receivers, and just coming out throwing the ball? Let's try to establish the run, get some positive yards going, and go from there. Offense was looking real bad the first 3 quarters. So I was kind of hot. Couldn't even say nothing in the chat. I was quiet. But when we started scoring, I started talking again.
You did. You
But
did.
nah, man, like it just goes to show second year Bo Nix, he is not taking that step yet.
Mm.
We haven't seen him consistently make the throws that he needs to make. Um, we talked about it before we got on the pod, but like he overthrows somebody every game. I don't know if he's just misreading it or just trying to show off his arm or what, but he misses a lot of throws in big moments, and we've seen it throughout the season. We saw it against the Colts, where we got third down in the red zone and he throws a pick, trying to force the ball down the field. It's just like, bro, like we don't need that. Against the Chargers, overthrowing receivers again. So it's just like at some point we got to have a conversation. Is Bo Nix the guy of the future? Or, do we need to go out and get some more weapons? What's the problem? Because I like consistency from my quarterback.
That's
I
fair.
like my quarterback to be able to hit throws, especially when it matters.
But
Now,
see, here's
now
the problem.
yesterday I give him this. That last drive, he got us down the field. He made some throws, but why couldn't we get that the first 3 quarters?
Hmm. But see, this is the problem, Hondo, because at the beginning of the season, your coach and Patrick Surtain both hyped up this quarterback. And I feel like y'all can't really move off from him if he's at least mediocre because I feel like Sean Payton is trying to prove that he is a Drew Brees-esque quarterback and is willing to stay with somebody he's comfortable with. We've never seen Sean Payton just move off of somebody. Now, granted, he had Drew Brees most of his career, but I think it's games like yesterday is why y'all keep Bo Nix. Y'all not gonna move over for him, and you're gonna pay him.
Yeah. I'm with you. But like I said, he got to be able to make throws consistently. And you brought up Sean Payton. Buddy's an idiot. We're not just gonna skip over that penalty he got at the end of the game because this Joker wanted to argue with the refs on a pass interference call. Now, granted, the pass interference call got them all the way down to the 2. True. But why are you all the way on the field arguing with the refs, bro?
Listen,
Like, come on, bro. Like, you too old for that, bro. You ought to know you can't do that, bro.
but see, the thing is, if he got the pass interference and he was arguing, what's the worst that could have happened? Half the distance of the goal. What was going to be the
Yes.
difference?
Hey, 1 yard can 1 yard could have prevented them from scoring a touchdown. Instead, Jackson Dart, runs it in, and now we got to come down the field with 37 seconds and try to do something. Luckily, we were able to do something.
Do you think this team currently constructed can win a Super Bowl?
I think it depends on Bo Nix. Like I said, like I don't think my opinion on this team has changed, bro, because the defense stands up. Yesterday, they had a whole bunch of penalties. Like, yes, the Giants had a whole bunch of yards, but like on third down, we were getting offside penalties. We were getting pass interference penalties that were giving them literally first downs, extending their drives. If we're able to get off the field consistently without getting dumb penalties, we're gonna be fine defensively. I trust Vance Joseph. I trust the defense, despite them giving up a whole bunch of yards in a couple of games. I trust them. I don't trust Bo Nix right now, and I didn't really trust him coming into the season, anyways. So I'm not gonna say Super Bowl yet, but I think we can compete in the AFC, especially the way it's looking right now.
Hmm. So, okay, give me your top three AFC teams right now.
Right now, mm, I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Okay,
Chiefs, despite their record, like I said, they've been playing good the past 2 weeks. If I'm anybody in the league, I don't want to see them right now. The way
okay.
they've been looking. So I'm gonna go Chiefs. Um, I don't know. Mm, dare I say the Colts?
Dare you say it? I was
Dare I
waiting
say
on it.
the Colts?
I was waiting on it.
Um,
Go ahead.
I I'll put them in there. I'll throw them in there. I'm gonna give you 4 teams. Colts. Um, 3. I'm gonna go Buffalo. I know they had a disappointing loss last week. Um, but I still trust Josh Allen to get right. He got to get healthy, as well. And then I'm gonna go Broncos. I'm gonna go Broncos.
Okay. Right now, I'll go Colts one. I'll go Chiefs two. See, I want to say Josh, and I want to talk about Josh and the Bills next. But I think I don't know because I feel like the same problems that I see with the Broncos. Like I see even more problems with the Bills. The only difference is they have Josh Allen. Um,
I don't know, bro. I feel like if you got a quarterback and go out there and like win you games, that's a great start. I
yeah,
don't think any of the other quarterbacks right now in the AFC that are healthy can go out there and win you a game like Patrick Mahomes, like Josh Allen can.
but I think in that same vein though, that same quarterback can lose you games. Like I think he was a big contributor in the loss to the Patriots. Like when I watched that game, he did not have his best game. And for a team to have to go as far as their quarterback, that's not a good trait to have. Like, granted, he is an MVP caliber player, but what else? What happens when he's not having a good game in playoffs? And I
James
think
Cook.
that's okay. All right, all right. Give me, let's keep going. Give me your top three in the NFC. So I'll go Colts, Chiefs, and I'll go Bills. They're barely.
So who's the 14? If you're saying barely.
I mean, I feel like you can put. I mean, the Broncos maybe. I mean, I think Broncos, Chargers, y'all in the same kind of boat, fight for fourth. It's not that big of a gap. And honestly, I thought I was gonna put the Steelers up there, but they were not
Yeah,
good versus the
yeah,
Bengals. So
yeah. Had they not lost that game versus the Bengals, I probably would have put them up there. But once again, like offense, like can Aaron Rodgers still go out there and win you a game? I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know. So
agreed. And I think it
yeah,
looks good on paper, but they still have a running back problem. And with Aaron Rodgers being 40, he's gonna have to rely on that offensive line. That's not good. So
mhm,
like that's what I was telling John last year. It's like a lot of the things that the Steelers used to bank on, like defensive pressure, offensive line, that is kind of gone. Like even nobody's fearing the Steelers defense. They got a lot of good names, but you saw the way that Flacco was dotting them up. And that was easy. I can't even imagine Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. We saw what Lamar did to them in the playoffs last year.
yeah.
So I don't know. I just can't put them up top with us, honestly.
That boy swear they the elite team in the AFC. Boy, he talking about something with us. Nah, we just not gonna let that slide like that, bro.
Just had to say it. I mean, all right, give me your top three in the NFC.
NFC, I'm gonna go Eagles. I'm gonna go Tampa, and I'm gonna go Rams.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go actually Tampa one. I'll go the Eagles two, and I'm actually go with the Green Bay three,
Mm.
and I'll put the Rams. That would be my fourth. But and also too, just watch out for the Lions too, because we'll see tonight. Tonight's gonna tell me everything I need to know about the Lions because
Yeah,
they don't have a drop in talent, just coaching.
mhm. That's a tough division too. We didn't talk about that earlier, but that NFC North, especially with the Bears winning these past couple of games, that's going to be a tough division too.
Yeah, and I was watching part of that Minnesota game, and I think silently people are probably like, man, we should have kept Sam Darnold. Like, JJ McCarthy's been out, and Wentz is terrible, and I
Yeah,
repeat, terrible.
they couldn't protect Buddy. We saw the impact that Jalen Carter had on that game being back. He had missed the last game, but
Yeah,
his pressure up the middle was crazy throughout that game. So hopefully, if JJ can come back relatively soon, if not, they got Carson Wentz. Hopefully, they can get the ball to Jettas and Addison because they were getting some big plays against Philly. They were
yeah,
getting some big plays. This is not when they needed them. They were in that game.
yeah. So I say all that to say, now that you gave me your top teams, you have an amendment. So who is your midseason Super Bowl pick and favorite? What was the matchup?
Mm. If everybody's healthy, shoot, we might see a rematch. Now I will say, I'm slightly leaning towards the Rams right now of making it out the NFC for real. Like
Hmm.
I think if healthy, Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Puka, Devontae, them boys been looking pretty solid. If that offense is clicking, if everybody's out there, they're gonna be a tough out. And especially with Philly not looking too good defensively and having some question marks and identity offensively, they might the Rams might be able to sneak up and get them.
Hmm. That's interesting. So you're
Now I know
saying,
them. Didn't them teams just play a few weeks ago too? I think Philly got them, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
remember it was like a block field goal at the end?
Yeah, that they returned for the touchdown. Yep.
Yeah,
But that if you the Rams, I'm confident that I could beat them.
yeah, exactly. If
If
you have
that's
the
how
mid,
I lost,
yeah, I'm with you. So you're saying either Chiefs Eagles or Chiefs Rams?
yeah, right now.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on the Chiefs Eagles, but I think there could be another rematch. Like it could be Chiefs Bucks. Like I think if Baker can go on a tear, and even I know Mike is playing tonight, but if they Mike and Godwin can get healthy at the right time, and then you still
That's
have
the
Emeka Buka and now
mm-hmm.
Tez Johnson as a four. Hopefully, I don't know the extent of the injuries with Bucky Irvin, but like if they can get healthy late and go on a run, I trust Baker to go into Philly and win. And I
But
think, go ahead.
go ahead. My only thing with the Bucks is like, have they been tested? The one team that they really played was the Eagles, and they lost.
Hmm.
That was that was a tough, great win, great job by Baker when they beat the Seahawks. But other than that, have they really been tested? I mean, tonight, like you said, tonight is going to tell us a lot
Yeah,
if they can get past the Lions. But I don't know. And then looking at
yeah,
their schedule, they got the Bills, they got the Rams. Who else they got to play? Falcons should be tough.
yeah,
I mean, they're in a good division. They're in a winnable division for sure.
yeah.
I guess that's their saving grace.
And that's the thing. If they can get some easy wins on their schedule, like I mean, we can talk about Panthers and Saints and the Falcons. But if they get that number one seed, I think that gives them an opportunity to get healthy and go on a run. Like if Philly has to go and play in that wild card game, like
Mm-hmm.
I think Philly is the type of team that can implode late. Like either 2 or 3 years ago when they lost to the Buccaneers in the playoffs and it was just like a blowout, just because internally they were just like a ticking time bomb. I
Mm-hmm.
think yesterday kind of mitigated a lot of those issues with Jalen Hurts passing a lot and AJ Brown appearing happy. But I think
Mm-hmm.
later on in the season, as it gets colder, people are going to want to run the ball more. And I think those emotions that AJ Brown and Devonta has expressed, I don't think they just go away after one week. And I think that
Yeah.
could cause a lot of issues team wide.
And then that's what I was kind of hesitant about them picking them, making it out the NFC because we've seen those problems, right? Throughout the season. Um, and like from an identity standpoint, like I talked about earlier, like yes, Jalen Hurts was passing the ball a lot. Yes, Devontae Smith had a great game yesterday. Yes, AJ Brown scored a touchdown. But like, is that sustainable?
Yeah,
Are they going to continue to keep throwing the ball and you paying Saquon all this money?
yeah,
I'm surprised Saquon ain't screaming yet. But
that's
the
true.
good thing is they winning. Winning cures a lot of things. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see if they can keep it up. But I'm interested to see how they're gonna look offensively as the season goes on. Because I don't think they're gonna keep up all this throwing, me personally.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Okay, I want to play a game real quick. So I'm gonna throw some coaching names out there, and you tell me if they make it back next season in terms of coaching. All right, so I'm gonna start with a layup. Mike McDaniel in Miami.
No.
Okay. Aaron Glenn, the New York Jets.
It's iffy because he's a first year coach. Uh do you give him another chance? Like they're bad.
They're
They are
bad.
bad.
They're very bad.
They are bad. I don't think anybody expected them to be this bad, bro. But dog, it's hard to give them another chance after how they've been looking, bro.
Yeah, and the thing is, his side of the ball is not good. So it's like
Yeah.
defensively, they are like last in the AFC, and you would expect that at least to be good. Because with Robert Saleh, you could at least say the defense was okay.
Hmm.
So
And
I
I think coming into the season, the big question was just can Justin Fields be a starting quarterback? They decided to take a bet on him, and it's not looking good at all. It's not. So like, at what point do you either go in a different direction at quarterback or get rid of the coach?
yeah, I I want to believe in Aaron, but honestly, I could see if they don't win a game this season, which there is a chance they can. I don't think he's back. They have to go on
So,
a run late, like 1 or 2 wins.
so do you think he makes it through the entire regular season?
Yeah,
It
I
sounds
think.
like you do. Even if
Yeah,
they continue to lose.
yeah. I mean, he's the other thing too. He is a New York Jet. He played there. Like I think they at least give him to the season. But if he goes over, no, he's not back. But if they, because a lot of times when people are getting ready for playoff positioning and seeding, they don't really take the end of the season as seriously. And I think they could go on like a 2 to 3 game stretch of winning, and they have to look good. They have to be something to hope for next season for him to be back. They're just bad. There's no reason to keep him around because the morale is lost.
I mean, we saw him and Garrett Wilson going at it the other day when they were in London before
That's true.
going into halftime. I don't know, man. They got the Bengals coming up. Probably lose that game. They got the Browns. That's a winnable game, maybe. Patriots probably a loss. Ravens probably a loss. I don't know if he makes it to the end of the season.
See, the other thing that's bad for Aaron is like Aaron winning in Pittsburgh. Because it's like you let him go. You basically just from the reports he had to fly all the way there for you to give him a 5 minutes. And now if he's making the playoffs in Pittsburgh, it's like okay, Justin Fields only had like 45 yards the other day. So why did you let him go? Because clearly you can't evaluate talent.
Bruh, when I saw that 45 yards, I said, yeah, he's about to get fired. Somebody's about to get fired. When I saw that, bruh, this man had 45 yards the entire game passing. Bro, what? And it and it wasn't raining, it wasn't snowing, it wasn't no
You're
like
right.
bad weather or nothing,
Clear
bruh.
skies.
Bruh. 45 yards. Now, granted, the offensive line is not great. Cool. But 45 yards, bruh. Y'all couldn't do no screen passes or nothing, bruh.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. The more you talk about it, the more I don't think he makes it this season. But I'm gonna stick with my gun.
I don't know if he makes it the entire season, bro. The way they're 0-7.
Yeah.
and it ain't gonna get too much better. Like at best, they win 2 or 3 games at best.
Hmm.
Looking at the rest of their schedule, they probably will win 3 games, maybe. That's not enough to keep your job when you 0-7.
That's
At
true.
least the Titans, they messed around and won a game, and we saw their coach got fired.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Dang, Aaron. Okay. All right, let's keep going. The Baltimore.
I feel like coming into this season, like you were making a good point of him, possibly getting fired. But like
Hmm.
now, I understand you got to make adjustments. You got to be able to uh play the cards that you're dealt in a sense. Them boys been banged up, bruh. I feel like I feel like he should get the benefit of the doubt this year, bruh. Given the circumstances. That's the only reason. Now, had they been healthy and doggone they what 1-5, cool. Fire that man. Yeah, you gotta go immediately. They've been banged up, bro. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on this one.
But this is
Especially if they're able to turn it around. Right
that's a
now, it
big
ain't looking good for him. I ain't gonna lie, it ain't looking good for him. But if they're able to turn it around, they said Lamar didn't practice today, so who knows if he's playing versus the Bears. I'm gonna give him the
he's got
benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say he stays, but hey, it's been championship or bust for the past 3 years. It seemed like, and they ain't got one yet. So, I mean,
it's
I ain't
time
gonna
to
be
go.
mad if they fire him. It ain't hurt my pockets.
I mean, okay, so I hear you, but how long are we gonna keep playing this game? Once again, another year where it's like an excuse. It's everybody but Harbaugh. I promise you, if Harbaugh did not have that Super Bowl with Ray Lewis that year, we would be looking at Harbaugh completely different. Like he's had great rosters, he couldn't get it done. Yes, they have been banged up, but as you can see from some of their other counterparts in the AFC North, they've been able to squeak out games. Part of being an elite coach is being able to know how to navigate and get wins in the NFL. And John Harbaugh, it just seems like we're giving him excuse after excuse. And for Lamar's prime, I think it's best that he finds a guy like an Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes, a guy that complements him, and a guy that is forward thinking offensively. John Harbaugh, it just seems like every other person that he brings in, all the way back from Greg Roman, it's just been stagnant. It hasn't been anything elite. So I just feel like for the sake of your franchise quarterback, you got to make a move.
Okay, but what direction do you go in? I know you said somebody, offensive minded that can kind of cater to Lamar, but like from a personnel standpoint, you still got Derrick Henry. Do you move off of Derrick Henry? Do you make any personnel changes in addition to getting rid of Harbaugh?
I mean, I don't know about moving off of Henry just now. I mean, I think despite having a bad season in terms of fumbles, he's still an elite running back. I mean, it just depends on who you get. Like, you could go the Mike Vrabel route, and you see Mike Vrabel invested a lot on his interior alignment and defenses because that's the coach that he is. But I think everybody is waiting for, an elite offensive mind. But then you run the risk of getting a coordinator like Mike McDaniel and him not being a man of men. You know what I'm saying? Like a leader of men. So I think you, first of all, have to evaluate who's on the market, who's available. I think if you would have had a Ben Johnson, that might have been a good pick, but he's not available. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's the best fit for Lamar because Lamar needs somebody who can help him not even grow as a quarterback, but expand the playbook to where you can really embrace all of Lamar's talents while still not having to feel like he has to carry the team every week. And I think that's what Andy Reid did so well for Pat. But I just don't know if there's an Andy Reid out there that you can go get.
Question for you, and this is coming out of left field though. Let's say the Ravens, get rid of Harbaugh. If you're somebody like Shane Steichen, do you consider going to the Ravens?
I
Do
just
the
like I
Ravens
told.
consider do the Ravens consider trading for him?
Yeah, I mean, just like I told y'all the other week, I think 31 teams, coaches are thinking about that move. If I'm Shanahan, why wouldn't I consider going to taking my running playbook, taking my ideas and leaving Brock Purdy and going across the coast and going to Baltimore? I think that's an option. I mean, obviously with Shane, you know, the expectations you have in Indianapolis versus the Baltimore immediately, I think changed, and I think he's
Mhm.
building something in Indianapolis, so I wouldn't do it. But any elite coach is thinking about that because as long as you have your franchise quarterback, it makes your job that much easier.
Okay, follow up question because you said he's building something in Indianapolis. Is Daniel Jones our quarterback?
No, no.
Okay, so you going in the next season with a different quarterback. I feel like that's
Well,
more incentive to leave.
so let me rephrase it. I don't know if I told you and Doc this or on the podcast. I said we're hoping his ceiling is a Baker Mayfield, where Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay signed him as a bridge quarterback. He turned out
Mhm.
to be more than a bridge quarterback into a franchise quarterback. We're hoping for that because I think everybody was waiting for the plethora of collegiate quarterbacks coming out of this year's draft. But because we know that's not going to be the case, I think people are kind of thinking if Daniel Jones can give you an above average 2 to 3 years as a bridge and finding our guy, that would be the perfect segue. So, in terms of long term franchise, no. But I think in the near future, if he's winning 9 to 10 games with Daniel Jones, I'm not leaving it because Daniel Jones is going to be cheap. We can build out the roster.
Mm, okay.
But I think of a guy. Like, only reason I say Kyle Shanahan because I think, Kyle secretly is kind of tired of having to find a quarterback. And even with Brock, I think he was this guy, but he's injury prone. Um, Kind of
They
thing.
just paid him though.
And that's where I think privately he's like, okay, this is what I have to deal with for the next 6 years. Like a guy who I don't even know is going to be playing 17 games or half of them. I I think Brock is good, and I definitely am an advocate for Brock getting his money. But you go look at that, how many season-ending injuries they have on that roster, and how that's a reoccurring theme in that organization. And that San Francisco team we knew what 3, 4 years ago, it's suddenly just gotten very old and brittle.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, maybe Sean McVay, if they don't pan out this year, not having to deal with Matthew Stafford's injuries,
yeah.
a guy like that. I mean, you got to think about a coach who's still kind of in their prime, but it's kind of their situation has been stale. I think would make the move to Baltimore immediately.
Another question for you though. Let's look at it from this way. Let's say they keep Harbaugh. Does Lamar request a trade?
No, because I think it's kind of hard to just trade franchise quarterbacks like that because Baltimore's not going to do that. I mean,
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
he tried to trade it and get his money, they didn't do that. Like, I think Baltimore's smarter than that. It would have to be either like something happened internally that they can't recover from, or Lamar is just done with Baltimore. And I don't think either of the two is going to happen soon.
Mm.
He just fits Baltimore. I mean, just
I just,
Baltimore as a whole.
I just don't know though, like, because like the same way you keep saying they keep coming up short. If they just continue to keep coming up short, at what point do you decide, okay, maybe I can't win here?
Yeah, but Hundo,
Especially if they're not gonna fire the coach.
but I'm glad our third partner crime is not here. We can agree that Lamar has been a part of them coming up short. Them, his performance versus Buffalo, it was not a good performance. As much as we're gonna blame Mark Andrews, that was on him. So yes, I think what you're saying is I put the team on my back, like Braun 2019. Like I've done everything, and this still is not working. No, you have
That's
missed
not the
some
case for
shots.
Lamar.
No, it
Collin said
hasn't.
that's not the case for Lamar.
Not. You have been a part of the problem too. Like you're great, yes, but let's not act like I, there's nothing else I could have done for us not to get to the Super Bowl. No, that's not the case. You actually could have done more. Man, I hope clip this. Send this directly to John. Clip that. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're gonna circle back to that. All right, so we went to Baltimore. Zach Taylor with the Bengals.
I think he's in a similar type boat where the quarterback gets hurt. They got some injuries. I think bringing in Flacco is good. I think if they can, continue to win and compete, he gonna be fine. I don't
Hmm.
really see them moving off of him unless they just like don't make the playoffs. But as of right now, shoot, they what 3-4? They second in the division. So
Yeah.
if they keep competing and playing at a high level despite them not having a quarterback, they're gonna be fine. I don't think he'll get fired.
All right. Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. It's
Really?
Tom.
Okay. Hmm. What's like I had a follow up question with that. What's a better job, Miami or Cleveland?
Is everybody like there?
Yeah, coming back next season.
I'm gonna say Miami, just off the strength of the weapons. Like
Yeah.
you got a quarterback in Tua. Granted, he's not the best, but I mean, shoot, I take him over Dylan Gabriel. And we just saw these two teams play yesterday, and it was kind of rough. Um, but a healthy Tyreek Hill, a healthy Waddle, I got something to work with. I mean, the Browns got Quinshawn Judkins. I mean, other than Judy. I mean, other than that, Miles Garrett, great. Their defense is pretty good, but you got to think about that division too. Like, do I want to see Lamar twice twice a year? No. Do I want to see Joe Burrow twice a year? No. Do I want to see the Steelers defense twice a year? No. I'm good. Yeah,
Fair.
let me go to the AFC East.
Okay. Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh.
I think he stays, especially if they can win a division. The
Yeah.
way it's looking right now, I mean, it's interesting too because you got an older quarterback, probably not coming back next year. So it's like if he's not going to be coming back, might as well get rid of Mike Tomlin. It seems like a good time to get rid of Mike Tomlin, right? Yeah. So I can see that happening, even if they do make the playoffs, especially if they don't win in the playoffs. Um, I can see that happening. Him leaving out with Rodgers.
Yeah. I agree with that completely. I think his exit is going to be with Rodgers. However, whether it be next year or the year after, I think he timed it up perfectly because I think Thomas has coaching years in him. I just think that, like I told you last year, if especially if they get blown out in the playoffs this year, it's run its course. It's just time to move on. I think him in Miami would be definitely something I would consider because he's a stabilizer. He sets things in order, and I think Miami needs that right now.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely bring some stability to Miami and some leadership. And everybody in the locker room will respect him. Um, so maybe, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
and Minka's there already, so that was your captain in
Yeah,
Pittsburgh. So
yeah.
yeah, D'Amico in Houston.
I mean, I think he stays. I don't see why you would get rid of him. I mean, yeah, they haven't been as good as people expected this year, but I mean, shoot, he ain't that
Yeah,
bad.
I agree. I think he's a good coach. All right, so Titans already got rid of their coach. I don't think anybody in the AFC West. What about Pete Carroll on the Raiders?
He need to retire. He'll probably retire before they fire him. In all honesty, he's old
Yeah,
behind.
yeah, and I think him signing Gino that wasn't a good
Yeah,
move.
that ain't looking good, bro.
Yeah,
Gino is not looking like him. Not
at
that he
all.
was him, but like, bro, we expect you to be better than this, bro. You're
Yeah,
a veteran quarterback, bro. Like, you should not be this sorry,
yeah. I think we expected him at least to be Sam Darnold, like at the very minimum. Like,
bro. We thought that was a quarterback upgrade when they got him in the offseason. This man looking worse than who they had last year. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, agreed. Schottenheimer
Yeah,
with the Cowboys.
I don't know what they got going on. They need to figure something out because I expected them to at least be competing in the division. They not even
Yeah,
doing that now.
yeah, like
And I'm saying this now, but watch the Broncos mess around and lose to them fools. Just watch.
yeah. I mean, that's what I thought they were gonna be. I thought they were gonna be a team that everybody's kind of worried about. It's like, okay, got the Raiders this week, but I mean, when we played them, it was easy. And I was like, Pete Carroll is. He seems. Maybe I'm thinking about the Pete Carroll from the Seattle team, but yeah, I just don't see it this year. And I think with Tom Brady being at the helm, he's going to try to make moves in order to become more relevant because I think he's thinking about the investment that he made.
And I
All right,
will say Brock Bowers has been out, but yeah, man, they've been going outside, bro. Like
for sure.
getting them blown out, bro. Like outside of that Bears game, they've been getting blown out, bro. 41
Yeah,
to 24 to the Commanders, 20 to
yeah,
9 versus the Chargers,
hmm
31 to 0 versus the Chiefs, 40 to
yeah,
6 versus the Colts. Like,
yep,
bro, y'all been getting smacked.
yeah. Because they don't have any offense. And the thing is, their defense. I think Crosby was injured, but once they get down, you don't have anybody to throw to, so you have to stay with the run. And I think Genty is still coming into his own, but you don't have any weapons outside,
Yeah.
none.
Outside of
So
Bowers and
you
Myers.
can't throw your way back in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bowers has been hurt, like you said, so nobody's really worried about Myers on the outside, personally.
Yeah.
All right, Schottenheimer with the Cowboys.
They actually got a big win yesterday. So I think he'll stick around. I think he'll stick around. I think they're gonna compete in that division, especially with the Commanders and Jaden being banged up in and out the lineup. If they can mess around and get second in that division and sneak into the
Mhm.
playoffs, that's a win for the Cowboys because nobody
Yeah,
expected them to be competing in that division and doing what they did to the Commanders yesterday. That was a good win.
yeah. I think the Cowboys have a nice team. It's like I think people got so caught up in, you know, uh, the Micah deal. And I feel like the Micah, in a way, it was kind of how we felt about the Luca trade. Like, even though probably didn't get back a Luca size return, the Mavericks were still good. And I think even with Kenny Clark and the picks that they'll be using, it wasn't a terrible trade. Like, we're acting like the Packers fleeced them, but the Cowboys still had a decent roster and they could win games. I think the problem was just putting it all together and competing. But Schottenheimer definitely has exceeded expectations, in my opinion.
Yeah, he should be back. They got a
Yeah,
tough little schedule though. I ain't gonna lie. You got
yeah,
Broncos, Cardinals, Raiders. Cardinals and Raiders should be wins, but then you got the Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders again, and then end the season with the Giants. So maybe not, depending on how this go.
yeah,
But we gonna see. I expect them to compete. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and say that those games are guaranteed L's, but they're gonna be tough.
yeah. They have to win half of those games for him to keep his job, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If they can get they're 3-3-1 right now. If they can get the 9 to 10 wins, he should
yeah,
keep his job.
yeah. That's yeah. I agree. All right, Dable with the Giants.
Nah, he gotta go. He should have been gone. Matter of fact. Um, and then to lose how he lost to the Cowboys and the Broncos. Granted, that's not necessarily all his fault. But yeah, he gotta go. He gotta go.
Yeah, but this crazy thing is, outside of the fourth quarter, I thought they had turned it around. They have a good roster, and
They do.
Dart he definitely made some plays, and it was like, okay, Dabo saved his job, but I think that just dysfunction that was the fourth quarter yesterday, that lost him his job, in my opinion. I thought if there was any hope, it was winning versus the Broncos, because then you can say, okay, I beat the Eagles and the Broncos this season, more than half the league can say. But I don't know.
I think the one hope with them, like you talked about, they got a good roster on defense, specifically that front seven, and then offensively with Dart and Scatterbo, them boys been hooping.
Yeah,
Boys been hooping. So if he has a connection with those two on the offensive end, maybe he sticks around. But other than that, if it starts to look ugly or them boys not performing at a high level, he gonna be out of there.
yeah, agreed. Okay, I want to throw one in the NFC. What about Nick Sirianni and the Eagles?
Nah, I think he could.
Okay.
They just won a Super Bowl. They're still winning games. Like I talked about earlier, winning cures it all. If they
Hmm.
can continue to win, bro, despite the drama, the chaos, the noise around the team, if they continue to win, bro, nobody gonna say anything.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Dan Quinn safe. Washington.
I don't know, bro. I feel like with them, like similar to Sirianni, right? Like if you continue to win, you're gonna be fine. I think they over exceeded expectations last year, and now
Yeah.
this year, people know
This is
that the Commanders are coming to play.
yeah.
So
Nah.
I think they'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. And like I said, got a young quarterback in Jaden. They have that connection. We saw how hard Jaden was playing for him last year, and I don't think anything major has changed between those two.
Hmm.
Jaden has been in and out the lineup, as we saw with various injuries, but I think Dan Quinn is fine to keep his job.
Okay. Some read through some of these names. Do you think Ben Johnson is safe? The Bears.
Yeah, them
All
boys
right.
been winning games, bro.
Yeah. Agreed. Dan Campbell, the Lions. I don't think they ever let him go. I think he's a Lion for life, in my opinion. Um, don't see LaFleur leaving or getting fired. What about Kevin O'Connell with Minnesota?
They really just got to find him a quarterback, bro.
Yeah.
They got to find him a quarterback. Is JJ McCarthy that guy? I think with Kevin O'Connell, like he's a good coach. I
Yeah.
like
Agreed.
I like the defensive coordinator. They got Flores right at
Yeah.
DC,
DC. Hmm.
so they got good leadership over there. I think it's just finding that quarterback.
Yeah. See, this is interesting though, because I guess the question is going to center around Justin Jefferson,
That too. Yeah.
because I think the problem is their GM let go of Sam Darnold, who was a capable quarterback, because they wanted to save money with JJ McCarthy. They thought JJ McCarthy could give you the same production as Sam Darnold. I think in the room secretly they wish they could have kept Sam Darnold. But now that you're saying they have to go get us quarterback, it's not that they go draft, because I don't think JJ, well, when I say JJ, I'm saying Justin Jefferson, is going to sit around and wait for another quarterback's development, right? They're going to have to find somebody, a Kirk Cousins, somebody that can come in and at least win them 10, 11 games.
Hmm.
But the problem with that route, now it gets expensive. And so the roster that you were building around JJ, you're going to have to let some of those pieces go in order to get a quarterback. So it's going to be an interesting thought process when it comes to who is that guy. Because even if you bring a Kirk Cousins back, it's no guarantee that he can come and win you 12, 13 games. That's why I just thought it was dumb with them not trying to keep that continuity with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, I think his floor was 8 games. So
Hmm.
I think anybody in that division would beg for that.
And that's a good point you bring up too with Jettas, because we've seen a number of receivers get frustrated with not having quarterbacks throughout the history of the NFL.
Exactly.
If I don't have somebody that I trust can get me the ball, why would I stay here?
Right. Look at probably
So
the best quarterback in the Vikings uniform with Randy Moss.
so if Jettas requests that trade or he's talking like he unhappy, it might get ugly in Minnesota. I don't think anybody's safe at that point.
Quickly. Yeah, agreed. All right. So only got a couple more teams left. Raheem Morris with Atlanta.
Once again, quarterback, is Michael Penix that guy? Is Michael Penix that guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
It ain't looking too good. But the
Got
other pieces that they have are pretty good. Like you got Bijan, you got
Drake.
Tyler Algier, you got Drake London. The defense is pretty good. They got one of the best defenses in the league. So we gonna see, man. It's gonna come down if Michael Penix is that guy or not.
Yeah, I think he gets fired. This is my surprise firing. I think like last night can't happen. Like, I mean, San Francisco's on their like third, fourth stringers, and they're coming in and beat you 20-10. I just think that's unacceptable. And like even there was another game. I don't know if they were overseas, but they had a bad loss, and a lot of these bad losses are culminating. And I think the Falcons ownership at least wanted them to compete with the Buccaneers for the division. And it seems like now with the Panthers winning, they might not even be second. So I think this season they have to win a considerable amount of games for him to get the job. But I think if there's third or fourth in the division, he's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because a lot of people had them, like you said, competing for that division. Um, and right now it ain't looking too good.
Yeah, for sure. Canales with Panthers.
Surprisingly, in some way, they've been winning games. I don't know how they've been winning games. I couldn't tell you how they've been winning games, but somehow they've been winning games. Granted, they played the Jets yesterday, and the Jets, as we mentioned, are terrible. They're not good either. But before that, they were 3-3. I don't know how they've been winning games, but they've been winning games. So as of right now, he's good to go.
Okay.
I didn't think they would be winning this many games.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
Unfortunately, he stays.
yeah, yeah. I think these couple of wins they got, especially versus the Cowboys, he'll keep his job another year. And Bryce is looking better, so I think he sticks around for that. Kellen Moore with the Saints.
I don't know. See that's my problem with like some of these coach firings. Like even going back to Tennessee, it's like we knew this team wasn't gonna be good.
Right.
Like I can look at the Saints where I say I can tell you they're not gonna be good. Like everybody knew the Saints was not gonna be good this year, and y'all about to go out and fire this
Yeah,
man. Like what did y'all expect?
agreed.
I don't think he gets fired though. But if he does get
Okay.
fired, I mean it tracks for the NFL.
Yeah, not for long.
But I don't I don't I
Todd
don't I
Bowles.
don't, I don't see him getting fired though.
I think Todd Bowles is safe at Tampa Bay. Um, I think he's one of those guys that as long as they're competing, he stays there as long as he wants to. What about you? You think he stays?
Yeah, yeah. And Baker
Okay.
playing at MVP type level, he gonna
Yeah.
uh, he good.
Jonathan Gannon with the Cardinals.
I thought the Cardinals were gonna be better than what they were, and they have not been that good. Um,
Mm,
I don't know if it's Kyler or I don't know if it's the coach, bro. Like I don't know. Like their defense doesn't scare me. I know James Conner got hurt, so that was a big part. I don't know, bro. I don't think the coach can save them. Even
yeah,
even if they go get a new coach, I don't think the coach can save them.
that's fair. You know, there was a story yesterday. I was watching a part of the Packers game, and they did like a little, one of those mini features on Jacoby Brissett, and they said that like after practice this whole season, he's been saying when working with the wide receivers and tight ends, and they showed the wide receivers and tight ends that he was working with, and it was like Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride, and then the camera instantly panned to Kyler Murray because why is Jacoby Brissett having to be the one that works hard and does the extra work and not Kyler? And like you said, I think the Arizona Cardinals problem is a Kyler problem. I don't think it's a Gannon problem because they actually look better with Brissett. I think he's more on time. There's not a lot of scrambling, and I think like people think that when quarterbacks scramble a lot, it's because they have a bad line. But I think he gets trigger happy and leaves the pocket early instead of letting the routes develop. And I think that contributes to a lot of the off time throws. And even Marvin Harrison Jr. looks much better with Jacoby Brissett. And so until they make the decision and have the balls to get rid of Kyler, they'll continue to have this coaching circulation that I don't think actually improves and moves their organization forward.
Do you think Marvin Harrison is the top receiver, number one guy, future of the franchise type player?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I think early on he was not good. Let me just say it frank. And I think Trey McBride clears a lot of the pressure defensively that he probably would have had, if he would have been the only person out there. But I think even like yesterday, he made some big time plays. And I think for a wide receiver early in your career before you get that second contract, if you can make big time plays and a defense has to adjust to you, then I think you're capable enough of getting, a decent contract and being the number one kind of guy. I think people fear Marvin Harrison a lot more than even some of the people on our roster, like, Michael Pittman Jr. And you can clip that as well. But I think as he's developed, he has that capability, just like he had at Ohio State, of making big plays. And I think that's what scares a lot of defensive coordinators. Yeah.
I'm not too sold on Buddy yet.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying I'm not too sold on Buddy yet. I got Buddy in fantasy, and Buddy is up and down. I say,
Yeah.
but
That's the
he
thing.
is only in the second year. I give him that.
But, in that same vein, he has been bad. Like, let's not discount that. He has been bad for the first part of this year. But I think seeing him with Brissett and seeing the plays that he made yesterday, he has that potential. I think he has a higher ceiling than a lot of the other, rookie, sophomore wide receivers that we've been talking about. So that's what at least gives me hope if I'm a Cardinal. Now, I don't know if he stays a Cardinal forever. He might be a Colt. Just put that up there. But yeah.
Hey, Coach, get on that line.
All right. I don't think any of these coaches go, but I will go over them. So Sean McVay in the Rams stays.
I think he stays.
Kyle Shanahan, 49ers.
I don't know. I mean, if it's up to them, he probably probably stays. But I mean, shoot, if Buddy, like you said, if Buddy don't think he can win with doggone Brock Purdy, or if they start losing games, who knows?
Okay, agreed. I think for him to leave, it has to be a situation like we talked about earlier. Like John Harper gets fired and he gets a call from Baltimore. Like that's the only way. Like the top three guys, uh, Mahomes, Josh, Lamar has to be the next guys that he coached for him to leave his situation now. Yeah. Okay, Mike McDonald in Seattle.
I think he stays. I mean, I don't see why they would get rid of him.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Did we talk about Sean McDermott?
Oh no, we didn't. I thought that was a safe, but is that not?
I don't know, man. If they can't get over that hump, I don't know. He might be
Interesting.
out of there. Hey, watch out. If they don't do nothing in the playoffs, don't be surprised if that man is gone.
Wow. Okay. I skipped over them. Okay. So when you say get out, are you saying this conference championship or Super Bowl of bust out?
They got to make it out the AFC. If they don't make it out the AFC this year, they could very well consider getting rid of that man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the only next step, bro. That's the only next step. You're not getting rid of Josh. That's the only next step. If you can't win this year,
shoot, is it a gimme that they win the division?
I trust them more than I trust the Patriots. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know the Patriots are 5-2, bro. I don't trust Drake May. I told you earlier in the episode, bro. If you got a quarterback that can go out and win games, bro, you good in my book. Give me the Bills to win that division.
I hear you, and I tend to agree. Looking at their schedule, and I mean Chiefs. Oh, so they play the Panthers. My bad, Panthers fans. So at the Panthers, Chiefs, they'll beat the Dolphins. Then they have to play the Bucks at the Texans, at the Steelers versus the Bengals, and then play the Patriots again. Then they finish the season off, so they go to Cleveland. I think that's a win, and then they have to play the Eagles and then the Jets. They could easily lose one, two, three, 4 games.
And in that same breath, they could easily win those games. Now if the Patriots had that schedule, they losing 3 of them games.
Agreed. But I think when I'm looking at the Patriots schedule, they play the Browns, the Falcons, win-win. Then they go to the Bucks. I think they lose.
Hold on. That's not a guaranteed win versus the Falcons. The Falcons are up and down. We know this. They could easily show up and win that game. Go ahead.
Yeah, but okay, they go to the Bucks, so I think that's a loss. They play the Jets. I think that's a win. Then they have to go to the Bengals, the Giants, and then
The Giants
they
been
play
competing.
the Bills.
The
Okay,
Bengals, that's gonna be tough. You still got to deal with Chase and Higgins out there.
okay, the Bills at the Ravens,
The Bills getting
at
their
the
get
Jets.
back. The Ravens healthy, that's gonna be an L.
I mean, the Ravens could easily pack it up at that point in the season if they don't make the playoffs
They
or
could
not.
if they not healthy.
Okay, at the Jets, and they finish versus the Dolphins. They could win out.
They got. I ain't.
No, I'm
I'm
saying, I'm
not
saying
saying that.
win out the last three. The last three I named. I'm not saying win out the for the rest of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
They could go out a winner. I guess that's a better
I'm
verbiage.
glad you clarified that, brother. I'm about to say win out. No, I'm betting $1,000 they not winning out.
Go out a winner. That's better verbiage.
Nah, they can win those last 3 for sure. They could.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so now we got Sean McDermott, so we can add that to the list. All right.
But listen, do you think like you don't think there's a chance he could get fired if they don't like make it out the AFC? Like you think he'll still keep his job?
I think if they make it to the AFC Championship, now if they get embarrassed by the Chiefs again, and if they get embarrassed in the new stadium versus the Chiefs, then yeah, he's gone. But I think if it's close, what's your alternative? Like, it's not just saying I'm gonna get rid of Sean McDermott. It's like, what is my option after I let him go? Who's coming to Buffalo? You
Hold on,
want?
brother. Hold on, brother. We gotta stay consistent. We
Okay,
gotta stay consistent because you ain't say that about none of these other teams that's possibly firing coaches.
for sure. But the thing is, though, like we're not gonna act like Sean McDermott hasn't been competing. And the argument that we made versus Baltimore, he beat Baltimore.
But
He beat them.
I think it's something about not getting over the hump. We see it a lot in the NBA. The Knicks fired Tibbs.
Buffalo Bills, I guess. Okay.
Like you got to be able to get over the hump at some point. You can't just continue to keep losing. That's the problem with Harbaugh. He's not getting over the hump.
Correct. But in that Harbaugh example, the reason why I'm saying get rid of Harbaugh can't beat McDermott when it matters. So yes, on the tiers of fire, I would put Harbaugh before McDermott. But if McDermott goes to the AFC Championship and they lose on a field goal, you're getting rid of him?
Bruh, it's not about how far you make it if you're not making it out.
Okay.
The goal is to make it out that conference. They haven't made it out that conference yet with a all-time, I ain't gonna say all-time great, but like a current great quarterback. You
So if
haven't
they
made it
get,
out the AFC yet.
so if they go to the Super Bowl and lose, are you still letting them go?
I
But he
think they
just has to
keep
make
them
it
if
out.
they make it to the Super Bowl. I think their problem is making it out the AFC.
I can see it.
If they don't make it out the AFC, I think he's out of there. It wouldn't
Hmm.
surprise me. Now, if they bring him back, cool. But like, at what point are we going to continue to keep going to the playoffs and not making it out the AFC before we say we need to go in a different direction? How long do you keep doing that? If it was your team and y'all kept going to the playoffs and couldn't do nothing in the playoffs when it mattered to get to the Super Bowl, how long would you keep your coach?
But the thing is, Hondo, we have both in our lifetime seen some dark days in Buffalo. And I think the argument that we're making for Sean McDermott is that he's helping you knock on the door. Maybe y'all haven't been able to open it and take space in the Super Bowl, but y'all been getting on the doorstep. Now, granted, it's one of those things where it's like, who's a good example? Uh, a team that is running against a legend.
Thank, thank, thanks, Doc Rivers.
I was gonna use him, but that was a terrible example. But I mean, like, I don't know. I hear what you're saying, and I definitely don't want to move the goalposts. But I think Sean McDermott, he's
Nah,
not
you
somebody.
moving the goalpost for this man,
But
bro.
he's beat
The goal
every
is to
point
win a
that we made.
championship. The goal is to win a championship, is it not?
It is. But
So if you
what else?
continue to fall short of that, if you continue to fall short of winning a championship, you shouldn't be fired.
You
That's what you're
should be
saying.
you should be fired. I'll give you that. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so at what point does he get fired?
I don't know. I didn't think about that this year. I mean, if the Bills, okay, yes, if they don't win the AFC, he's getting fired. Okay, okay. Hey, I don't know what else you want me to say. I just didn't see it, but now that you made a compelling argument, I definitely understand. Yes, yeah.
Can't be in second place your whole life. At some point, you gotta go get the crown. I want to be a winner like Pat.
Not everybody is
I'm
Pat.
tired of losing to Pat.
Not everybody is Pat or Reed. Like that's just wishful thinking. Sometimes you just gotta wait until we're
So,
looking at Dwayne Casey.
sometimes you just gotta wait. I'm gonna remember this. I'm clipping that. Yeah, okay. Yep, you said it. Sometimes you just gotta wait. I'm gonna
We're
remember
looking
that.
we're looking at the Toronto Raptors and Braun is in the league. Yes. I'm sorry. Regardless of what you do, it's not gonna change. We literally have talked about the Chiefs being not that good, and now we're talking about man, they might be in the Super Bowl. It's because of the two in the backfield. You have Patrick Mahomes and you have Andy Reid. There's just nothing you can do.
Okay. All right. Sometimes you just gotta wait. That's gonna be the title of this episode. Sometimes you just gotta wait. That's the title of this episode right here. Yep. Sometimes you just gotta wait.
But speaking of waiting, we no longer have to wait for the NBA season. So let's talk about some NBA content. Tomorrow, actually, at 7:30, the NBA season officially starts with Houston and OKC, followed up with the nightcap with Golden State and the Los Angeles Lakers. Braun would not be playing, but I guess the biggest news is that KD will be playing tomorrow at the two instead of the three. And with that roster, this is probably their version of the big lineup, but it sparks a new change. And the Houston Rockets, as we've seen them, that was probably the biggest news of the offseason, him moving to the Houston Rockets, playing against the defending champions. So let's talk about these two games, and then we can kind of get into a larger discussion about the NBA as a whole. But who do you got in these games tomorrow?
I'm gonna
And how do
go
you feel
OKC
about
on
the
rain
Rockets?
one. You say how do I feel about what?
I said, tell me your predictions about the game tomorrow, and tell me what you think about KD going to the two.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start there. With KD going to the two, I don't think that's gonna last long. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, they got a big lineup. They got Steven Adams, they got Sengun, they got Jabari Smith, they got KD, they got Thompson.
Mhm.
If Van Vliet wasn't starting, or if Van Vliet wasn't hurt, my bad, who's going to the bench? Jabari?
Yeah,
Are we agreeing on that?
yeah.
So if they start off slow and it's not looking too good, who going to the bench?
Jabari.
All right. So I'm glad we on the same page with that. I don't think it's gonna I don't think this big lineup is gonna work too long. And Mr. Smith, get ready to come off that bench, brother.
that's that's a great that's a great summary. That's a great,
Yeah,
that's a great summary.
you already know how I feel about Jabari, bro. Like, I wouldn't have paid him that money. Me personally, I feel like he a tradable piece. But we gonna see, man. Hopefully the Rockets can do something. Um, yeah, Jabari got to show me something this year. Maybe he makes me a believer this year, but I got to see something this year.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting because it seems like the Rockets are like always the pioneers. Like it's crazy how less than what 7 years ago they were the pioneers with small ball. Now they're playing tall ball essentially. And I think KD is one of those few positionless players in the NBA still playing. But I guess what I'm curious to see is like, can Amen take a step up in terms of his offensive production? Because we know what he is defensively. Nobody questions that. But like you said, with KD, what being like 37, we know we're going to get at least 20 from Sengun. But Steven Adams not out there for offensive production. Jabari
Mhm.
is definitely up and down. We're hoping as a starter he can, be a formidable starter and be an all-star caliber player. But even if you're saying, hey, KD, we're asking you to get 27 a night, is that sustainable over 82 games this season going into the playoffs at 37 years old? It might be, but I think because of all of that, now we're going to need that same defensive production and offensive production from Amen. And I just don't know how sustainable that is. And hopefully, Van Fleet comes back healthy. But like, I mean, you're asking a lot. And isn't I mean, I don't know who they're running at the backup. Is it going to be Reed Shepard?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And I mean, you still got Tony.
My thing is too with this big lineup. Where's the shooting coming from? Outside of KD, where's the shooting coming from?
My point.
Has Jabari Smith become this knockdown 3-point shooter? Has Amen Thompson, like you said, worked on his game, specifically perimeter shooting, because he can get downhill, he can get to the lane. So that's my question with this big lineup too. Is like, where's the shooting coming from outside of KD? Who's going to be able to stretch the floor and space the floor out?
Yeah, agreed.
So
And I think like so what is the stat line that you're looking for Jabari says Jabari Parker, Jabari Smith to have a great season? What is that stat line?
yeah,
Points.
yeah, and I want to revisit something you said. You said all-star caliber.
Yeah.
That ain't happening for him. I can guarantee you that ain't happening for him.
Okay. For them to be a playoff kind of team, what kind of stats does he have to have
As a starter or just in
as a
general?
starter? Because I assume he's going to be a starter until Van Fleet gets back, and that's not going to be until April.
I don't see him starting that long. But I don't know. I feel like it depends on the identity of the team, bro, because as we know, the Rockets were one of the best defensive teams last year. So, I mean, assuming they can get to 100 something points per game in scoring, KD is the number one option. Sengun number 2 option, Jabari as a I assume the number 3 if Thompson isn't the number 3. So Jabari as the third option, 17. Now as far as like rebounding, I mean, shoot, you got 2 trees down there, and KD can rebound himself. So
Yep.
5 or 6 rebounds, maybe. Like that's still not all-star caliber, but like that's good.
Yeah. I was
That's
gonna say
solid
eight.
to be the
Uh,
third option.
yeah. I was gonna say 18 and 6. That was gonna be decent stats. The problem is I just don't know. That puts a lot of pressure on you defensively as well because you can't just stand around the paint with some of the teams in the West. And you just don't want. I think what Van Fleet last year, what people don't realize is that he never had to run the offense or was forced to score. So a lot of his scoring came naturally, and he was able to use a lot of his energy to guard. And if the Rockets are ever struggling, God forbid they get hurt or in foul trouble, you're putting that onus on Amen Thompson to run your offense and to actually give you what 18 a night. That's what we're hoping.
And
I
that's
just don't.
that's what I think. That's what I think is the big thing too with like that third option. Like who's going to be that third option? Is it going to be Thompson? Is it going to be Jabari? Because like that's a big part of the offense.
Yeah,
Understanding roles and understanding identities and like what you expect from each player. Because if you're expecting to get 18 from a man, 17, 16 from a man, you probably only getting like 12 or 13 from Jabari.
yeah, and you're hoping that 18 comes with his same, if not more, defensive production from last season because he was having to guard the best player and he was having to produce. Now you're asking him to do all of that plus get 18 a night.
Yeah.
It's not just one night. This is a night. So
And
I
and
don't know.
then from a defensive standpoint with this big lineup too, is like you talked about a men, pretty much taking on the best offensive player on the other end, but like Jabari guarding twos? Is KD guarding twos? Are they gonna be playing more zone? Like what is it gonna look like defensively? Because man to man, they probably gonna be getting ran by
Exactly.
with this big lineup. So we gonna see.
Yeah. And honestly, I know they didn't see it coming with this Van Fleet injury, but this is where you could have used the Cam Whitmore because Cam Whitmore is still a bucket. And at least if he was coming off the bench, he could get you at least 9 or 10. So we're not even talking about the bench yet. So, we're hoping that the five of them can produce, for 82 games. But if you actually need any outside scoring, I don't know where that's going to come from because we're not looking for Tarn Eason to give you, 20 off the bench. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, but what about the other side? So, obviously the defending champions start the season off, and there hasn't been much storyline. So I know Jalen Williams is not playing tomorrow. But
Which
how do you
Jalen
feel about
Williams?
uh sorry. I think it's big Jalen Williams by the big. But let me
Oh,
verify
okay.
this.
I thought you was talking about J Dub.
Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure.
If it's light skinned Jalen, they fine.
Oh,
That's not
not
that's not.
so they said Jalen the J Dub is he yeah, Jalen he's the forward. So they say he injured his wrist at the end of the regular season, so he's a game time decision for tomorrow. So he might
Sound like
play,
he
but yeah, I just don't know how much he'll be playing.
mm. Yeah,
But
I think they'll be
either,
fine.
yeah,
I don't think there's been a lot of noise, like you said, surrounding them. But I mean, shoot, they returning pretty much the whole team.
yeah.
Of course, it's gonna be a target on their back this year. But I think they should be fine. They should win this game tomorrow for sure.
Hmm. Uh, let's go to the night game with Golden State and Los Angeles. So obviously, Bron's not playing. But how do you feel about? we'll start with the Lakers and then go to Golden State. How do you feel about Lakers going into next season?
I think the Lakers are kind of in a similar boat as they were last year. Like, I mean, I'm interested to see how Aiden's going to look playing alongside Luca. But other than that, it's just like, okay, we got AR. They added Marcus Smart. Hopefully, he can give them something. Um, I'm just waiting to see Bron come back at this point, bro. Like, we're not really gonna know how good this team can be until he comes back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not expecting too much. I don't even think they're gonna win this game tomorrow. They could, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they lost this game.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like, I just don't know. Like, you know how I feel about Brian going into this season. So we're still
Mm-hmm.
gonna bring that PJ Washington comment back up. I know you probably forgot, but I think it's gonna look a lot like Luca's early years with Dallas. Like he's gonna have to, score and everybody get out of the way. And he has Marcus. Obviously, he has AR. And but the thing is, who else is gonna score? Who else is gonna be your, I guess, second or third option until Brian gets
Dominating,
back?
man. Stop playing with that boy.
All right. What about Golden State? Stop it. Stop it.
Bro, you not rocking with AR and DeAndre Ayton, bro, as second and third options, bro?
Not to be a contender in the West, no. Like
Okay,
Bron's.
but for the purposes of this game tomorrow,
We'll see.
do you, do you think they can do enough?
Yeah, I mean, it's
How,
one game.
hold on. How do you feel about AR?
I think he's a decent third option. I don't know if he's a second option on the championship team, but I think a lot of what you're seeing with the Los Angeles, like I was seeing with him in college at Oklahoma. I mean, he's a good player, a great scorer, but I think in terms of a go-to scorer on a championship team, I just think it's kind of conflated with them not having a third option in LA. So
Do you think he fits with like Luca's style of play?
no, I do not. I think ever since he's gotten to the league, people have been trying to figure out who's that perfect player with Luca. Um, and I don't know what that is. I remember we talked about it in the group chat, a couple months ago, and it's not Kristaps, it's not a Jalen Brunson. I remember Davion brought up like Brandon Miller type player, maybe, but I think he flourished a lot with that team that played Boston with Kyrie, Lively, Gafford. That's the kind of team he needs. He doesn't like Kyrie at that stage could still get you 22 a night, but it wasn't like I need the ball to get it. And I think that's where Luka flourished, where you still had Kyrie when I went out or wasn't playing good. But I think of Reeves, like I think he's just better. I think he's not as good as people are making him out to be. And I think some of that is the LA tax of just playing on the Lakers and being good. But I mean, he's okay. Like he's never going to be a go-to scorer on my championship team, personally.
I think he took a good step last year. I think he showed that he can be that second type option if needed. I think also a big piece of it is playing with LeBron. Like
Yeah,
I know you talked about Luca just now, but like that pressure of playing with LeBron is heavy.
yeah,
You don't want to mess up. You don't want to be in the wrong spot. Like that's a lot of pressure.
yeah,
And to just say that you on the court with him on his team is a lot of pressure. I'm interested to see how this is gonna look, especially with Braun being out these first few weeks of the season. We're gonna see if how good AR could be
yeah.
as the second option because he's gonna be the second option now.
Do you think that this team is going to have to make moves in the trade deadline, like a drastic move in order to be good or a
What's a
championship?
drastic what's a drastic move though? Like what are we talking? Like trading AR or trading Braun? Are we talking like that drastic?
Yeah, like I don't think trading Bron's on the equation. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah, okay.
but I'm saying, you know, kind of one of those vintage Bron trades, trading everybody except Luca and pit and the rest of your picks, mortgaging your future for disgruntled Trey Young or somebody like that who's looking to get out of their situation to build a big three. And even now with the second apron, I don't know if you can do that anymore. But somebody like that.
I don't know because I feel like the Lakers as an organization are in an interesting spot having LeBron on the roster still. So like
Yeah.
that alone probably has slowed down a few of the moves because you're in that window of like, okay, we still have Brian, but how much longer is he playing? Do we potentially, move Braun or like that's a lot. Like you don't really want to do anything drastic until you kind of know like what's gonna happen with that situation. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to play it by ear and just see how they looking by the time the trade deadline come around. But like I said, I think they're gonna be in a similar boat as last year. Play-in type team, fringe, 6 through 10 range. It's like not necessarily great to be, a top elite team in the West, but like still good enough to be like, okay, we got a shot. But it's
Yeah.
like it's the Lakers, bro. Like we trying to win championships. We not trying to just be middle of the pack. But I think, like I said, like having Brown on the roster kind of hurts because there's no real direction for the long term outside of you having Luca. So I don't know, bro. We just gonna have to see.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm glad you
revisit this in like December and see.
yeah, I'm glad you said that. Because I agree. It's time for LeBron to go. Um, all right, so I guess the other team that plays tomorrow night is Golden State. How do you feel about Golden State going into the season? Obviously, they returned Jimmy, Buddy, Dre, and Steph Curry. But I guess at the end of the last season when they played the Timberwolves, it just looked like it was over. And I think that they're trying to run something that is run its course. But how do you feel? Do you think that they have a shot to go to the finals this year?
A shot to go to the finals?
Yeah,
No, they're about to be in the same boat as the Lakers, bro.
agreed. Yeah,
That
I
six
think worse.
through that 6 through play-in range, if that.
Yeah,
Like I don't think it's too much to say about them. I mean, similar to the Bron situation, it's like, yo, we got these older players. How much longer are they playing? How much longer is Draymond gonna be here? How much longer is Steph gonna be here? They got a whole bunch of young dudes. Kaminga still unhappy. Jimmy Butler is just Jimmy Butler. It seems like he just there. We know he gonna play hard, but like, do you really want to be here for real?
yeah,
So we gonna see. Like I said, I think they're gonna be in that sixth place to play in range. I don't see them being an elite team in the Western Conference competing for a championship. But hey, with Steph Curry, anything can happen, man. Same thing with Brian. Anything can happen. If they get the right matchups, possibly.
yeah,
But we gonna see, man.
yeah. I don't know. I think Horford was a decent pickup if he can give you the years that he did for us in Boston.
That
But
man is
I,
45 years old, bro.
39, relax. But I think looking at the rest of their roster, you got
That man
Jonathan
said
Kaminga.
Horford was a pretty good move. Man, get out of here. You glad that
I
man off
mean,
your team.
he was giving us decent years. I mean, they got our leftovers, but like Horford was definitely like he can be a glue guy, like
That's,
a
that's
culture
not what
setter.
they need. That's not what they need. They don't need a glue guy. They have their glue guy in Draymond.
Hey, okay. I don't think Jonathan Kaminga makes it the whole season. Um,
What do you think they
man,
get for him though?
wait, before I answer your question, I'm looking at this Golden State roster, man. This stinks. Um, God, dog, man, this sucks. Uh, so I mean, it would have to be, I assume, the Kings, or you gotta hope, hopefully everybody stays healthy, but a contender that loses a piece. and that
Wait,
piece
hold on,
could.
hold on, hold on. You said the Kings.
Yeah, because they were trying to trade him this offseason to the Kings, and it just didn't go through. And the Kings have been after him for 2 years now.
Who are you getting from the Kings?
I mean, I would just try to leverage their picks. Whoever they don't have, like in the De'Aaron Fox trade, I'm sure they had picks from the Tyrese trade. Whatever those first are, I would just start to work leverage in the future and say, hey, I want your picks, and that's it. Maybe Malik Monk fits the Warriors roster. That's it. Because they're not trading Sabonis, but I mean that would be the biggest fleece ever. But yeah, maybe Malik Monk and a two future first, like 2029. That's the
Mm.
best. That's the best offer you can get for him right now. Because now you have the Kings have to pay him 22 million, and that's why I'm saying the other hope is that you have a contender who going into the trade line deadline, gets a brutal injury to one of their stars and is still trying to compete and is willing to get off some of their first for a Jonathan Kaminga who can get you at least 18, 20. That's the only option.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm looking at the rest of their roster: Gary Payton, Pods, Clinton Post. Excited to see what Will does. Will Richard, um, Jackson Rowe, Gui Santos, Pat Spencer. Oh
Yeah, they'll be
God.
lucky to make a play-in.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they can stay healthy and compete.
But that's the thing though, bro. It's like your scoring is really only Steph and Jimmy. Like, hopefully, Buddy can knock down some threes and probably get you 12, 13. But like, if one of them gets hurt, it's over. Because Draymond is not giving you anything more than 9 a night. Like, obviously, he is his presence on the defensive end, but like
They
this
got
team,
Al Horford, bro.
I see your way to throw that one back in my face, and I see what you're saying now. Yes, Ow.
That jug is not moving the needle, bro.
Yeah, that's who this roster is terrible. Oh dear God. Yeah. Okay. So okay, that's that. Um, so let's talk about some of the
These
other
are
teams.
first games.
Yeah. Yeah. Just know I'm going to bed about 10 o'clock because that's ridiculous. Who's your favorite out of the West?
Hmm. I think it's gonna be hard for the Thunder to come back and repeat what they did last year. I'm gonna start by saying that. Um, but I think the West is gonna be competitive still. I mean, still wouldn't surprise me if they have the best record in the West. But as far as making it out, if healthy, give me Houston. And I know we talked about their lack of shooting in the starting lineup, and I know I didn't kill Jabari Smith, but I think KD is gonna be a big difference. I
Okay.
think Jabari Smith is going to be coming off the bench. He's going to be a key six man, um, contender for six man of the year, possibly.
Yeah. You
But give
got
me
no hope
Houston.
as a starter.
None, bro. None, bro. I'm telling you, he's going to be coming off the bench. Now, like I said, he might prove me wrong. He might, but we're going to see.
Yeah. Interesting. Give me the Nuggets. I think
The Nuggets?
yes, yes,
Hmm,
coming out of the West.
okay.
Um, I think Jokic goes on another tear this year. The most underrated move this offseason is that Cam Johnson picked up. I think Michael Porter Jr. Yes, he was injured, but also too he just was not good last year, especially in the postseason. I think Cam Johnson actually gives you that 3 and D that they were looking for in Michael Porter Jr. So even though it looked like a lateral move, I think it was a bit of an upgrade. You still got Aaron Gordon, and if Tim Hardaway can give you the same kind of production and veteran presence that he did with Detroit, I think that's what they need because obviously the defense is going to collapse on Jokic, and you need open shooters that can knock down shots. And we're hoping Jamal can do that. Tim Hardaway, and I think another low key move was Bruce Brown because Bruce Brown was there when they won the championship, and I think coming off the bench, he's definitely one of those players who can help jumpstart your bench. Now, Christian Braun, I'm glad you got your money. I just don't agree with the contract. I don't think he was worth a rookie max extension. But I think, like I said, in terms of that bench, when Jokic sits down, you're going to need scoring, and hopefully he can do that. But now that he has that contract, if he can't, hopefully they can package that together and go get somebody else. But yeah, this is not a team that is new to this. Like they definitely competed last year, and I think a couple of moves go their way, and I think they're back in the Western Conference Finals. So yeah, I got them coming out.
I like the Valanciunas move. I like it. We talked about it when it first happened, but I like them signing Jonas Valanciunas as a backup center.
Yeah,
Um, I'm interested to see how the team is going to look though without Mike Malone. I know they fired him right right before the playoffs, right? If I'm not
yep,
mistaken, last
yep,
year.
yep.
So I'm interested to see how the coach is and that dynamic of having Jokic and Jamal still, and how that's going to look for them. But we gonna see they definitely got some depth on that team this year, deeper than what they were last year. So we gonna see.
Yeah, Julian Strother is going to have to take a step up. I think he's going to have to fill that Christian Braun role. I wouldn't have been mad if they re-signed Russ, even though I'm not really a big Russ fan. I think he definitely provided a spark off that bench, and I think that's going to be the biggest key for them to succeed. It's like, okay, Jokic is going on a triple double tier. Now he's sat down. We can't lose this 10-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
They need that same fire. But yeah, I think if they stay healthy, I got the Nuggets winning.
Okay.
Uh, okay. So any other surprises or things you want to talk about in the Western Conference before we move to the East?
Now I'm just interested to see how these young teams gonna look. Between the Spurs, Pelicans, Mavericks with Cooper Flag.
Oh yeah.
So I'm interested to see how those three teams specifically look out west. Um, Hopefully they compete and then can make some noise.
Yeah. Definitely excited to see the Mavericks play. We were texting on the side about Cooper Flag. I think his game is just going to transition so easily. I'm curious to know like if they're going to try to keep him in that same kind of KD kind of role with playing him at the two. I know some people say that he might play the one a couple times this season. Um, and I think with the way the game is so up and down now, it doesn't matter, right? Because nobody is just sitting at half court guarding. But
Right.
it's going to be interesting, especially as they you know, get close to the end of the season, like, do you bring Kyrie back? Do you just continue to sit him towards, the whole season to get ready for next season? So it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
some interesting moves, I think, later in the season for them.
Yep.
What about uh, before we go on? What about Minnesota? I know we we talked about during the summer, like AE potentially getting traded. I mean, or requesting a trade if this doesn't work out. So, like, what is the forecast for Minnesota going into the year?
I think if you're a Minnesota fan, I mean, it's to make it out the Western Conference. Um, from the outside looking in, I don't really know. Like, are you comfortable with Gobert still being your five? Are you comfortable with Julius Randle still being there? Like we talked about earlier, bro. If I'm the Timberwolves, the only untouchables on that team is AE and McDaniels. Anybody else can go
Yeah,
from the organization standpoint.
who's a better team? Who will finish with a better record? Minnesota or the Spurs?
Minnesota.
Yeah, I think what I'm not trying to make the direct comparison, but Jordan before he meets Phil Jackson, they start running the triangle offense. Like Jordan was going to tear scoring wise, like scoring like 29 points a game. and I think that's going to be AE this year and trying to put the team on his back. But I think there's going to be a natural transition for him, like him putting the team on his back. He's probably going to get the accolades, probably going to get MVP votes. But one thing I think that AE is going to understand, like you said earlier, is like he just doesn't have the help that he needs in order to get to the next level. And I think it's going to be evident now more than ever because, you know, is Mike Conley back?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, not that that was saying much, but like, who is that second option? Like, if AE can't get a bucket, who are you trusting?
Julius. Julius is the second option.
Okay.
We're not gonna disrespect Julius like that, bro. Like he was hooping last year, bro.
I mean, yes, but we're talking about winning a champion. You said the goal for Minnesota is to make it out the West, right? If you're a Minnesota fan,
Yeah.
can they make it out the West with Julius being the second option
I mean, they were
ever?
close. They've been close. I think more of the conversation is really about like the depth. I mean, you still got Nas Reed, but like after that, who else is contributing off the bench? We talked about the point guard situation already. Mike Conley is not doing nothing. If he, I don't even know if he there or not. But if he is there, he not doing
Yeah,
nothing.
he's back on a $10 million deal.
Okay, whoop de doo. We got Mike Conley. That ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, but I'm not saying Mike from a scoring standpoint. I'm saying in terms of that team being held together, like who is the glue guy on this team? Like I'm looking down this roster and I see okay, maybe DiVincenzo. The you have no veteran leadership at all on this team.
You got Rudy. You got Julius. You got Mike Conley is the veteran, bro. That's the veteran leadership right there.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking if he was back.
I
So
mean,
now,
veteran leadership is not what's going to win them, get them out the West. I promise you that.
yeah, but the thing is, what I'm saying is the comparison I made with Jordan with those 29 points a game tears is he needed somebody to stabilize him and bring order to that offense. I think this offense has zero order, and I think it's going to force Anthony to feel like he has to take it upon himself to score 28, 20, 29 tonight. And he's going to get the accolades, but it's not going to amount to nothing. The same way
Okay,
he started winning. Go ahead.
so is it more so the personnel or is it more so the coaching?
Both. I mean, I think if they don't win this year or come close to the West Coast Finals, you have to take a firm look at Chris Finch, like, and say, okay, it's time to move on because you have a bunch of like, if we're being honest, look down the roster, you have a bunch of people who can score, and you have a bunch of crash out scorers like Rob Diblingham, Anthony Edwards, Terrence Shannon, like all
Hey,
of these
Collin,
guys can score. What?
sometimes you gotta wait.
I knew you were about to bring that up. I knew it. I knew it. We've been waiting long enough. Like what? Because the
Sometimes,
thing is,
sometimes you gotta wait, brother. Ain't that what you said earlier? That's literally what you said earlier. So sometimes you gotta wait.
but see, this is the thing, bro. We're talking about a star who is destined for Atlanta. We both know this. And if you don't win this year, Anthony Edwards is the one star that I know will request a trade by himself without his agent and me. like, like you're on ticking time clock.
but, but he not consulting with nobody.
Nobody. He's gonna say I'm out, and he's gonna say it at the press conference. like, we know this, and it's gonna be another K Love, KG, like being poached of a star once again. So, yeah. Okay. So let's move on to the Eastern Conference. Give me your top three teams in the East.
Knicks, Cavaliers, and I'm gonna go Orlando.
Who's four?
Don't matter. You could choose any one of them teams, bro. Um, Philly. I'm gonna say Philly if healthy. Philly if healthy. Philly might be three if healthy.
Yeah, okay.
Might be
Because
healthy. Yo.
I was gonna say if healthy, I'm actually gonna go. Uh, not no particular order. I'm just saying in top three. I was gonna go Philly. I was gonna go to Knicks, and I was gonna go to Magic. And in four, I was gonna put Cleveland. Um, I think Cleveland and Pistons could fight for that fourth position personally. But based on my postseason analysis with the Pistons, how I feel about their roster now. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
I think on paper Philly has one of the strongest teams, but as we all know, they got to be healthy. So
yeah.
we gonna see if they can be healthy.
Who's a surprise team in the East that you're looking forward to this year or think can make a jump?
Next question. um, I get, I guess Philly,
Not you
bro.
have your answer
That boy, like, did he freeze?
over here like Rachel Nichols. Like,
I mean, I guess Philly, bro. I mean, everybody else hurt, bro. Milwaukee probably not gonna be as good. Boston probably not gonna be as good. Indiana probably not gonna be as good.
Charlotte,
Atlanta maybe.
yeah, Atlanta just played Dyson Daniels.
Bruh, this man said Charlotte? Bruh, no. Did you hear me say anything about Charlotte?
um,
This man talking about some Charlotte? No, no. They about to be sorry. And I can stand on that. Even they about to be sorry. Man, talking about something Charlotte?
Charlotte,
Absolutely not.
Charlotte won the summer league. Come on, get them young
Summer
boys some
League.
credit.
Summer
Who gonna
League.
who gonna be worse, Charlotte or the Wizards?
You already know how I feel about that. Washington.
Man, stop. Washington gonna make. Washington gonna make. They not.
Washington
They gonna
what?
be fringe.
Washington. Say it with your
Washington.
chest.
They gonna be a fringe play in team. Play in guys. That means they're like 8, 9 ish. Yeah, yeah. You'll see. You'll see. Trey Johnson. Watch out, guys. CJ
Yep. When
McCollum.
they at the bottom of the standings, you know who said it.
They're gonna be better than Charlotte for sure.
They'll probably be better than the Nets.
They'll be better than Charlotte too. I'm telling you, fringe play in. It's
Okay.
gonna be a surprise team.
All right.
Absolutely. Um, yeah. Anything else you want to cover over the NBA? Because I mean, some of these there's gonna be some dark days in the East, from what I'm seeing. Hopefully, uh, I'm curious to know, like, with I don't know if you've been watching like the recovery with Jalen. I mean, Jason, but I don't know. I hope they don't try to rush him back this season because
Mhm.
they showed bro like running and like shooting, and don't be the case study with this Achilles this year, Jason. Just sit down. Let's just call this
Yeah.
year one of those gap years like the Warriors had. But no,
Do you think y'all gonna keep Anthony?
once again, I think it depends on what happens at the trade deadline. Like if a contender needs a guard that can score, we definitely make that move and try to fleece the team. But also too, I'm not completely sold that Anthony and Jalen can at least get us to the play in. So I think it just comes with a number of factors. I think our biggest problem is we don't have a center. Um, I don't know if we're going to be starting Xavier or we're going to be starting Luca Garza, but that's going to be our biggest hole. Um, but we still got a majority of our scoring outside of Jason still on the roster.
Dang, bro, y'all should have kept Al Horford, bro.
honestly. But I think with the way our roster is constructed, they wanted to start making those small moves to prepare for, the inevitable, right? Because
Mhm.
at some point, our luxury tax was just getting too high. But I mean, you still got Pritchard, you still got Jalen Brown. Trying to think who else is on the roster. I mean,
Yeah,
Derek
Derek
White,
White still in.
yeah, Derek White still there. You got Simmons. I think we got the Chris Boucher from Toronto, and that's
That,
about it. I mean,
that ain't moved the needle none.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We our forwards and centers are just. You got that Queta guy last year. Hold on, let me pull up your roster so I can. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Queta, Garza, Hugo Gonzalez, Ron Harper, Jordan Walsh, Amari Williams. Amari Williams from Kentucky. He's actually kind of nice. So I'm actually kind of see how they play him. Josh Minot, Sam Hauser. Yeah,
Y'all got some shooters.
yeah,
Y'all like to shoot threes.
yeah. But we'll see. I mean, I think the threes that we were shooting before. Hopefully, we can have that same production this season. You're asking a lot of guys to be consistent shooting threes, and I just don't see that a lot on our roster right now.
Mm.
Because is Anthony a big 3-point shooter? I haven't watched much Portland.
He
I
can
thought he was
score.
more of a
He
slasher.
like he like mini Dame, bro.
Okay.
He a bucket. He just got to be on the court.
I hear that. So who? Okay, I guess we can end the show like this way. Who is your right now? Who is your MVP, and who is your NBA final matchup and NBA Finals winner?
MVP. I'm gonna go Jokic. I'm gonna go Jokic. And you said finals prediction.
Yeah, and winner.
Um, let me go. I'm gonna stick with Houston. And they're gonna play the Knicks. Houston and Knicks. And I'm gonna go with the Knicks to win.
Wouldn't expect anything less, brother. Uh,
Bruh, we got to make it out the East this year, bro. Like this is literally the year to make it out the East, bro. I don't trust that Philly gonna be healthy. Orlando gonna be tough. Cleveland gonna be tough. But I like our chances to get out the East. The West wide open. I could have said a number of teams out the West, but I'm gonna stick with Houston to
mhm.
make it out.
K MVP. I got Jokic out the West. Like I said, I got the Nuggets. And I think I said this before, but at the East, if healthy, I got the 76ers.
I don't
And
see them being healthy, but go ahead.
that's why I preface it if healthy, because this could go really poorly in a couple months. But the winner, I got the Nuggets. Jokic, Finals MVP. I'm gonna have to enter some interesting top 10 conversations about Jokic after this new season. I think he goes on a tear. So yeah, just don't see it, man. Like I don't think y'all should have gotten rid of Tibbs. Like you're asking a new coach to take you to the finals. Mike Brown. When's the last time he's been to a finals? I just don't see it. You know,
Yeah,
who's getting the number
we're
one
gonna
pick?
see the Nets. It's gonna be out. It's gonna be between the Nets, the Wizards, Charlotte, or the Jazz. One of those four teams.
Yeah, I have the Jazz getting the number one pick. Well, actually, I think the Jazz are going to tank. I think they want AJ. I don't know if they're going to get AJ, but I think all of them are going to be happy with the top three picks this season. We'll talk about that later in college basketball content. Uh, and I mean, I agree with the Nets, but I just don't think Washington's going to be bad, bro. Like, I think they're not going to be good, but they're going to be middle of the pack. Well,
What
not middle of
what
the pack, close to the bottom of the pack.
what what's giving you this this sense of hope for the Wizards?
Bro, I just trust their veteran leadership and I trust their young talent. I mean, you got CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton. Hopefully, Sarr takes a jump. And then on top of that, you got AJ Johnson and Trey Johnson. Uh, Bilal, I didn't watch him last season, but I mean, there's just a fresh mix of veteran leadership that can still play. I mean, Chris and CJ can still play. You got Cam Whitmore. You got him from Houston, who I said that Houston should have kept because he provides a lot of scoring, whether you put him in the starting lineup or you put him off the bench. The only problem for them is finding a center. And that's why I'm saying Sarr has to play big this year because I think they still have Marvin Bagley. But other than that, I think they have capable talent. Now, this could blow up in my face easily, but all those guys, I mean, you're talking about 20 points a night score, especially with CJ. So I just don't see. I think they're going to be a quiet team, but I think they can at least sneak into the play-in.
Okay. All right. Heard it here first, guys. The Wizards will not be bad.
The Wizards will not be bad. Now, granted, they're not going to be elite. They don't expect elite. Do not expect good, but they're going to be a sneaking team. They'll be like, dang, the Wizards. Okay. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chalk it. I'm telling you. And if they don't, you can put me on the single screen, and I will say I will stand on it and say I was wrong. 100%.
Yeah. I'm waiting on that day because it's coming.
Okay, we'll see. All right, brother. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm good, brother. Excited for the season to be here. Oh, one team we didn't talk about though. The Grizzlies.
On purpose. What are you going to talk about?
I think they're gonna be bad.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're gonna be bad. We gonna see, man. Ja and Jaren, y'all should have left with Bane.
Yeah, and I think this year's going to show you how much you should have kept Taylor Jenkins. What is their direction? I guess that's the question I have. Hopefully, Gigi takes a step up, maybe. I mean,
Yeah,
we got to hope John stays healthy because he ended the season with a back injury.
Yeah, this is true.
Or a hip, I think. Yeah. So
that's all I got, brother.
We'll definitely keep these NBA content going as the season starts tomorrow. So hopefully we can get more content in on the way. We appreciate you guys for sticking around for 2 hours to talk about this content. And we want to hear from you guys. So definitely like, share, and subscribe and comment. We want to hear your comments. And definitely share this with a friend.
Drop them predictions.
For sure. Because I know y'all calling me bogus for my Washington Wizards take, but I want to hear your takes. Be bold.
And, be bold.
Yeah. And so Hundo and John had content in our previous videos. So after you watch this video, go watch our previous content. And if you are a big reader and like to read in your free time, go to our Substack. We got endless content coming your way, especially as this season, college football season ends, NFL season ends, and this NBA and college basketball season is getting ready to ramp up. A lot of good content coming your way. And as always, our mission is just to spread the ministry and of Jesus Christ through sports and do it in a fun and authentic way. So if Honda, you don't got anything else, we look forward to seeing y'all on the next Win and Shot video coming out next week. All right. Peace.
Peace.